In the previous part, we worked on the details page of our application. So now if I press on any of the products, it takes me to the details page with the details about the product. Now on this part, we're working on displaying a full page of the list of products. So looking at our screens here, this is the screen we'll be working on today. We'll have a page which will display the full list of our products. Once we are done, we'll be linking to them through the links that we have over here, the view all links. This will be the links leading to that page. So to start our work, we'll create a new screen file. This file will be called products. So create the file products.js. Then over here, we'll create the product component. Then we export this as the default. Once we have that, we export this screen in the index file. So we import the product screen, then export it once again, like so. Now this product screen will be part of the home stack. So we go to our navigators, home stack, and then we import the product screen here. Then we'll create a new route for it. Now this route will be as simple as the home route here. So we can copy this route and then paste it below. The name of this screen will be products. And then we are using the products component. Then finally, for the title of the page, we'll set it to our collection. Now, because we want to see what is happening on that screen, we'll set our initial route name to the product route. And then over here, we can bring up our context menu and reload the app. And I will see that we are on the collection page. Now back on this screen, we import a few components, starting with our main container. In addition to the main container, when you have a look at our screen here, on the collection page, we have an input field. So we'll bring in our styled text input. The very first component we'll return will be the main container. And inside this, we'll have our styled text input. Now for this input, we'll set an icon of search 1. And I'll give it a placeholder of search. Now once you get this error, you need to reload the app so we can reload it. Now for styling, we'll bring in the style sheet from React Native. Then we'll create our styles below the components. The first style will be the container style. And this will be for the main container. What we'll be doing here is to set a padding horizontal of 25 pixels and a padding at the top of just 5 pixels. Now we can pass this to the main container here to the style property. Now for the input as well, we will style it. And the style will be called search. Now for this, we'll give it a font weight of 500. Then a margin at the bottom of 10. Now below our search input is the list of our data. And for this, we'll display it using a flat list. Now we used the flat list earlier on the home page. So over here, we look for the flat list making use of the product card. So we can copy the last one on the page, like so. Once we have it, we can paste it below the style text inputs. Now let's get this working. We'll start by importing FlatList from React Native. Also the product card, so that will be from our components. And then now we need to work on the data for our flat list. Now for the data, we want to create a function that will fetch the data. As usually, you'll be fetching the data from an API. So at the top, we'll create a function. This will call fetch products to make it more generic. Usually, it will be an async function. And then inside this, you have a try catch block. For now, we just send the error to the console. And over here, we'll be fetching the products. So for this, we'll be making use of the getWineData function we created. And remember, that is coming from the data file under config. That is this getWineData function. So in the product page, we import getWineData. Now the data that will be displayed by this flat list will not be the same. It will change. At some point, we'll be displaying only data matching a particular condition, like the search we have here, or displaying only popular products. So at the top here, we'll create a state for storing the data, and this we'll call filtered products. So to help us with our state, we import the use state hook from React. And over here, we'll create our state filtered product. Then the set function for the filtered products. We'll set the initial value to be an empty array, like so. Now this will be the data that will be displayed by the flat list we have over here. Now the available wine data will be displaying is currently based on our function, so call the getWineData. Then we'll pass an empty object to it. This will fetch all the data that we have. Then once we have it, we will set the filtered product and pass available wine data, like so. Now to get our data, we need to call this fetch product function whenever the page loads. So to do that, we need the use effects hook from React, like so. Just below the fetch function, we call the use effects. And then we pass the function and also an empty array. Now inside this function, we just call the fetch products. That should sort out our data works for now. Now back to the flat list, we'll change a few things. We'll update a product card here to be a bit bigger than what we have now. But let's change the other properties and then come back to it. For the key extractor here, to stay the same. But now we don't want the items to be in horizontal. So we get rid of this horizontal property. And then now we are not showing horizontal scroll indicator, but rather the vertical one. So we change this to shows vertical scroll indicator and we'll set the value to false. Now for the content container style, now we want this padding to be at the bottom. So we set padding bottom to 25. Also now on this page, we want to have 2 columns. So we'll set the number of columns to 2. This will give you an error, so you need to refresh the app. Once it reloads, you should have 2 columns. Now to style the columns a bit, let's add a column wrapper style. And for this, all we'll do is to justify the content to have a space between them. And once we've done this, we are back to the product card here. Now we want it to be a bit bigger than what we have. And remember, we've used the same card on the home screen. So adjusting it will affect the home screen. So to avoid any problems, we'll pass a property of all and then adjust it whenever we receive the all property. So inside the components directory, we visit cards and then to product card. Now in addition to all the props that we have here, we also take in the all property. So if we have the all property, the only thing we'll be changing here is the styling of the container. So in the style of the touchable opacity, we'll make a check for all. So if we receive the all property, we'll use a style known as container plus. Otherwise, we'll fall back to our default container style. At the bottom, we can copy and paste the current container style and then rename the second one to container plus. For the width, we'll change it to 40% and then we'll change the height to 50. Now for the minimum width, we'll change it to 150 and then the minimum height will be 188. The background color will stay the same, the border radius will stay the same, the margin at the top will stay the same, but we don't need the margin at the right anymore. Also, the justified content will still be flexed. Now this completes the work that we need to do for the product card component. For the product screen, we'll come back in a bit for a couple of tweaks. But now let's head to the home stack. Now we want to change the initial route back to the home screen. So we can copy the home screen and paste it as the initial route. Once we do that, we can refresh the app once again so that it takes us back to the home screen. Now the product screen we've implemented so far is for our collection here. So we'll get to it by pressing on the view all button over here. Now to make this work, let's go to the home screen. That is, under screens, we have our home.js. And then on top of our collection, this will be handled in the right text on press over here. To handle this, we need a navigation component. So let's import the use navigation hook from React Navigation Native. And then at the top over here, declare the navigation and then call the use navigation hook, like so. Now I just realized that our component is still called app instead of home. So while we are here, we can change it. We probably caught it in the previous part. Now we go back to our collection here, and then in the right on text press, we'll call navigation.navigate. Then we are going to the products page. So now if we press on the view over here, it leads to our collection with all the products that we have available. Now let's handle the popular one. For this, we'll still be reusing the products page with a little tweak. The first tweak is we need a whole new route for it. So inside the home stack, we'll create a new route similar to the products over here. So we copy the screen and then paste it again. This time around, the name is popular, but the component stays the same, and also we don't need the title. So for this, back on the product page, we want to check the current route that led to the product screen. So we want to tell if this product screen was requested by the popular route or by the product route. So to be able to do this, we destructure route from the props. And then over here in the getWineData function, remember that we can set popular to true over here, and then only the popular items will be returned. So now we'll set the popular property, and this will be true only if the route.name equals popular. We can make this the triple equal to ensure that. Now with what we've done here, we are good to go. So back on the home screen, you can now navigate to the popular route. So in the right text on press, call navigation.navigate once again. Then we go to the popular screen. So now over here, under the popular section, if I press on view all, it takes me to the popular page. Now it's saying it cannot read the name of undefined. What is missing? So back in the product.js file, I realized that instead of route, we're targeting routes. So we change this to the singular route. It should fix it, and we should have our popular product displayed. So now back on the home screen, We can visit all our collection via the view all, or visit only the popular ones over here. Now, regardless of the page that we are on, we can still visit the details of the particular product as we created earlier. So this completes the work for displaying the list of all our products. I'll put the link to what we've done today in the description so you can check it out.